All right, who's ready to do this? Who's semi-interested? Who really doesn't care and I'm just playing in the background? Loud noises? I promise I won't scare the bird or the dogs, all right? All right, let's have some fun. Let's see what's up. I got a couple of good ones, so just shut the fuck up already. Let's play it.
You're having a good time. Be sure to tell all your friends.
Hey, good band lady. Can we pull over? I need to make pee-pee.
Just go in my mouth.
It gets worse.
Can I ask you a really crazy question?
Yeah, shoot.
Do you ever have weird thoughts about,
I don't find this funny at all, and I'm genuinely asking, who was this for? This wasn't underground comedy. It was on mainstream TV, proved, aired, and laughed along with. She wasn't a nobody either. She had prime time slots, award shows, huge platforms. So who exactly was laughing at a joke like this? When this kind of language is normalised on TV, you absorb it before you can even understand it. And it's because adults are making it acceptable. I'm honestly asking, does anyone actually think this is funny? Or are we just pretending it's okay because it was on TV? Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
Makes me think of the Overton window. And anyone who knows that knows the media, publicity, whatever you want to call it, people out there, they stretch things out and make it to the point where it starts to become acceptable. Either that or you go, oh my God, and you push back and then the window closes a little more, so they have to push back, or they decide to go somewhere else and do something different. Now, if that was disgusting, which rightfully it was, and we don't appreciate it and we start becoming the moral backbone of society, that even though we were before not the greatest growing up, we learn from our mistakes and we want to save our children, then we start fixing this stuff. It's up to you. I don't know. I mean, I don't care. I'm just a screw up on YouTube. It has no idea what the hell I'm talking about half the time. I'm gonna go be a horrible person as soon as this closes anyway.
Then why do you think it's talked about so much in the industry?
Yeah, they said, did I sell my soul?
Murder was the case. I want my shit to be about cutting a deal with the devil, then getting sentenced to the pen. Then the shit happened.
Bring your lifestyle to me, I'll make it better.
And how long would life be?
Eternal life and forever.
Also parts in the album where you speak to Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucifer.
Yep.
The devil. So you
Yeah, man.
You don't know that Lucy got you all your life. I watched you, and now you all grown up to sign this contract gift. That's why I get you.
Did you sell your soul yet?
I'm a bring the call. Sold my soul to the devil, and the price was cheap.
If I could go back, I never would have rapped. I sold my soul to the devil, I'll never get it back.
I'm in trouble, did a deal with the devil, now I'm pleading with him. Like, give me my soul.
I had my first record ever and selling my soul to Hollywood Records.
I sold my soul a good price out of sight.
Biggest rumor though now that I sold my soul to Satan.
That I owe God to sell my soul.
But that was a thing for a minute. Juice WRLD sold his soul, right?
Yeah. You trying to sell your soul, man. Look, Juice selling his soul. It ain't take too long. Illuminati, man.
Did I sell my soul? I sold my soul for you.
Sold my soul to the devil. Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
Why is your hand over your eye?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. What are you talking about?
We've all seen
I have
that.
tickets to see the devil worshiper.
I'd like to thank the devil and all the dark lords.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
Like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna...
Have we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here?
I'm very honored to be able to receive this amazing award from the depths of my soul.
Pay close attention to this video. Tell me what you think.
Good evening, godless sodomites. I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
Reality television celebrates the human condition.
Listen.
It warps the minds of our children and weakens the resolve of our allies.
The results are often dramatic and always unexpected. We're here to honor achievement in that category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Do you get it? You understand? It's just a joke, right? It's just mockery, right? Back to this comment. The thing you have to understand, there are things that can be done that will separate you from God permanently, like the mark of the beast. I understand it's not your soul to sell, but this is your temple and you can do whatever you please with it. You have free will. And the Bible specifically states that there are ways to permanently cut you off from God. The mark of the beast.
Some of them could have used a discount when they bought their shit. Or they should get a refund or something, because you were disproportionate on that one. Either way, if I keep telling you this is who I am, at a certain point, if you don't believe me anymore, I mean, you're stupid for it. Whatever. That is what it is. I used to think, nah, people just say that stuff because it's popular. Like right now in concerts, everybody's trying to do some weird ritual. It's popular, so people do it. But a few of those, even 10, 25%, some of it got to be real then, right? I don't know. You think they sold their soul or they're just playing? They're just playing. It ain't real. None of it's real. You just go to sleep happy at night.
I'm telling you, the world is not ready for all the things that have been hidden from us for hundreds of years. Everything I show you in this short video is 1000% fact. So don't get mad at the messenger because your history teachers lied to you. Let's start. Fact 1. Did you know that all the islands and all the continents moved out of their place to new places? California used to be an island. The continents did kind of like Pangea. They were all very close together. And some major cataclysm happening, separating everything from itself. Fact 2. Did you know the stars did indeed fall from heaven? They say it happened in the 1800s, but if you know, then you know our civilization started in 1776. Or right about then, and when this happened, every eye in the world saw it. Fact 3. Did you know that all of our railroad tracks were discovered meters under the mud and dirt and go all the way from South America to the up northernmost tip of everything? Do you get it? Yep, the same place the auroras come from. Yep, the same place with Rubus Nigra in the 4 quadrants of land. The place where Google Maps will kick you off. Oh, and by the way, did you know that probably the second most anticipated character of the entire Bible in the book of Daniel traveled to this North Mountain? Guy wanted to be like God. Yes, everything was melted in our near past. Fact 4. And I surely mean everything. You'll find melted buildings, melted rocks, melted canyons all over the earth. Why isn't that in the history books? This one's actually pretty scary. Fact 5. Did you know that the Mount of Olives was in fact splitted exactly half a mile to Azel? Even more so, they built in the crack of the Mount Olives after 1800. They just filled it up. Because this, my friends, was Jerusalem in the 1800s. It looks like something massive had taken place right here. By the way, did you know that Nero Caesar demanded worship as God, and if you didn't do it, he would unalive you? And quite literally, all of Jerusalem was desecrated and destroyed in 70 AD. What are we, at fact 6 now? Did you know that the whole entire earth, after the melting, caught fire and destroyed all the buildings everywhere? Just look around me. Stick with me, they're only facts. Where are we at? Fact 7. Did you know that the sun went dark for literally 18 months? Again, the date, 536 AD. But in the history of wars, they wrote that men were free neither from death nor pestilence nor any kind of anything bad for this whole time it went dark. Like the whole time the sun went dark, there was massive tribulation on all the people. Scientists now try to say it was volcanoes, but this does not match historical records, as the sun was dark everywhere in the earth at that time. And if you're curious why I never trust their dates, we have caught these people in the act adding 1,000 or 500 years to buildings. Straight up slopping on another 1,000 years. Look, I have been studying eschatology, history, and archaeology for over 13 years, and I've come to find that Google changes its mind all the time. But one thing that is forever are statues and buildings, even if they change them. Yes, the shackle is broken off the statue of Louis First Foot. If you made it this far, well done. This kind of information is very hard for people to stomach. And look, it was for me too, but we're not even close to done yet. I still have 200 more facts to give you along with every book in the Bible, so stay tuned.
Gotta admit, there is some melted stuff out there. And it's weird too, like rock shouldn't melt like that, right? But then Sodom and Gomorrah was a thing, and we find little balls that light on fire that show that some sort of ignition source came from the sky. Whether or not people just say like, oh, it was just a filthy place and God wiped it from the earth. It was a filthy place and God wiped it from the earth. I don't know what that means, and I don't pretend to, but if you dig underneath, you're about to find another civilization, and it seems like there's 2 or 3 worth of them. So either the reset happened or reset happened, and be careful because allegedly another one might happen again. Don't get too smart.
Walmart, Star of Renfan. Walmart, Star of Renfan. That's Walmart. 6-pointed star, right there. Symbolism in plain sight, folks.
That always freaks me out because I'm just trying to get some toilet paper and some tampons and maybe some snacks. Is that a weird combination? No, right? So why do people look at my cart when I have tampons and I'm a guy?
If you don't drink the Kool-Aid, you don't drink the gold juice, then I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times. I don't know, but I didn't drink it and I didn't want it. They send like people after you. You can have everything you want, all the fame in the world, all the money. I'm like, what if I just drank it? Like, it's all a real thing and it's scary.
Look, I'm not saying she should have drank the gold juice. I am not saying that. But she looks like she's been on meth for 17,000 years, got no teeth, and was busted as hell every time I see her now. But she looked pretty fine back in the day. So, I'm not saying she should have drank it. I'm not saying that.
Sucks. Gee, that is gnarly. Dude, I would be so scared. They're still debating.
2028 LA Olympics, car surfing. Check it out. That was Bryce's right, by the way. Why did he go, That was gay. That was gay.
Completely random fun fact that will probably disturb a lot of you. So the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded in 1986 on live television. It was a televised launch of the Space Shuttle, and as it was taking off into space, the rocket exploded. Chances are you've seen the explosion at some point. Anyway, if you watch footage of the explosion carefully, you can see that the cockpit that housed all of the astronauts inside it was actually propelled farther into space by the explosion itself. So as you're watching, you can see the cockpit just get launched way farther up into the air than any other part of the rocket. It reached a higher apogee than any other part of the shuttle, and it came back down to Earth at a total free fall, unaccompanied by anything else. The messed up part is that it remained completely intact and properly pressurized the whole time, meaning that it's pretty likely that many, if not all, of the astronauts inside experienced the entire thing, including their entire fall back down to Earth. Literally gives me night.
Some scientists have came out and said that they were probably alive and that the pilot was actually trying to steer that cockpit. There was no way to land it. It didn't have landing gear. It wasn't set up that way. It was just going to be a parachute. So they crashed and they all died on impact. But so they were alive for like another 2 minutes flying through the air, screaming and freaking out the entire time. Let that sink in tonight while you're eating your cereal because you're broke.
You
Just
people
because
down
this is
here.
an uncomfortable
Stop.
topic.
Officers, please remove this man from the room.
You just violated the First Amendment. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
I think we all remember the Challenger explosion that took place in 1986 that tragically took the lives of all 7 astronauts on board. As a couple decades later, this thing called the internet came about, and someone allegedly found almost all of those astronauts alive and well, many using the same exact names. As you can see here, we have Challenger astronaut Judith Resnick and also Judith Resnick, Yale law professor. Michael J. Smith, the pilot of the Challenger astronaut, and also professor at University of Wisconsin, now retired Michael J. Smith. Commander Dick Scobie, who is now president of Cows and Trees. Now, if you'll notice, they all have the exact same faces 30 some odd years later, the same exact name. Miss Resnick was questioned at Yale by a journalist, and she panicked and ran from the camera. Why?
Conspiracy about space shuttle. No, I want to be polite.
Mr. Michael J. Smith was also questioned, and he said, yeah, we look alike, but that's not me.
Are you Michael Smith? Yeah. Are you aware that there's a rumor on the internet that people are saying?
Yeah, it's not me, obviously. I mean, it's interesting that the Michael J. Smith that was the astronaut looks something like me when we were younger, but really not.
Yeah, you just sure look alike. It's the same name.
I know the facial thing, but that's what we look like. What? 40 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe that 3 people from one space flight have exact lookalikes that have the same age and same exact names.
Sir,
Mr.
I'm going
Scobie
to have
not
to.
only has.
I'm going to have to
Sir,
stop.
this is a public comment.
I know what it is, sir. I'm very familiar with the public comment.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Will you let me finish for at least
No,
10
sir.
seconds?
You're finished. Thank you.
Thank you for taking away my freedom of speech today in here.
I did not take away your freedom of speech.
Yes, you did.
I don't want to hear it from you
Just
people
because this
down
is an
here.
uncomfortable
Stop.
topic?
Officers, please remove this man from the room.
You just violated the First Amendment.
I didn't want anybody to be sad while you're eating your cereal tonight because you're broke.
The world is going on here. Apparently a news reporter over at the BBC is under fire for being a reptile, a demon. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about this across social media. Reading this article from the New York Post, BBC anchor faces backlash after hissing when musician DC3 names Jesus Christ as his hero. Let's go ahead and play the clip for context.
No, just quickly, who are your heroes?
My heroes are Santan Dave, Kendrick Lamar, most of all Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, it's lovely to meet you, Daniel Chenjerai, DC3, as you are better known. Thank you very much.
That news reporter was Geeta Guru Murthy, and after people heard this, she is facing a lot of backlash on social media to the point that people are making memes, and you even have people who are saying they are atheists, yet upon hearing this really bothered them. Now, upon being dragged through the internet by the religious and atheists, she came out and gave a statement claiming she was merely doing her job, quoted as saying, "I've seen there's been some discussion about the end of my interview with DC3 this week. For the record, I was simply breathing in before moving to the end of the interview." So she wrote this on X. Let's go ahead and see if anybody is supporting the fact that she was just breathing in. This person with the most likes says, "Yeah, I just watched around 20 of your interview clips and haven't heard the demonic hiss one time. If you link even one clip showing otherwise, I will retract this statement and apologize. I rebuke you." There's also the fact that her X post is being heavily ratioed, 125,000 views at the time of this recording, and only 255 likes. So not a lot of people are buying what she's saying. Now, I don't know if there's another video clip of her making the same exact noise as she continues to speak, but oddly enough, we have seen a news reporter on air hissing before.
We'll be exporting chicken to the Chinese.
Can we buy a Chinese firm?
No, not right now.
Then why should they buy one of ours?
Why not?
Because we can't buy one of theirs. Open up the market.
Very,
Quid
very
pro
well.
quo,
Yes,
Clarice.
We have capitalism and we embrace it, and they
And they don't, Clarice.
We have capitalism and we embrace it.
The excuse here was that he was referencing Silence of the Lambs. After Hannibal Lecter says quid pro quo, he hisses. So I went back to watch that scene, and yeah, he does no such thing.
Quid pro quo. I tell you things, you tell me things. Not about this case, though. About yourself. Quid pro quo. Yes or no? Yes or no, Clarice?
Hannibal Lecter may hiss in another scene, but it's just weird. I'm just going to go ahead and use one more example because apparently there's a lot of them, but people found this clip of Nina Brzezinski to be weird too. They said you can hear her hissing, but her appearance starts to change, and while it may be a glitch, the crew, their reaction is kind of telling.
It appears Brittany is suffering from a major psychological disorder, and that it might actually be bipolar. Could be that. The doc then predicts how much longer they'll live. Sick, I know, but I also know you want to hear what she has to say. The doc says if these people don't get help or straighten up fast, I haven't pre-read any of this. Brittany won't make it to the age 30, Lindsay won't see 25, and Michael Jackson has no more than 5 years left. At the other end, Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life, and so will George Bush and Nicole Richie.
If you're not already bipolar,
I hear yelling in the booth. Are they yelling at me for the way I read that?
You did great. Okay. But if you're not,
excuse me.
I could hear Lisa yelling.
Give her a break. She didn't read it earlier. She doesn't know the story. It's okay. Just stop it. She's okay.
I could hear you.
Yeah.
I heard you.
Well, if you weren't already crazy, wouldn't you be made crazy by being called bipolar? And I think that would just feed on itself.
The whole thing.
I think
the doc then predicts how much longer they'll live. Sick, I know, but the doc then predicts how much longer they'll live. Sick, I know, but
the doc then predicts how much longer they'll live. Sick, I know.
But moving.
Yeah, bro, kind of sound like she was just taking in a breath. She didn't do it in the right way. It was very unprofessional, and I mean, she wasn't doing a good job at her job. But the other two, they were hissing. Oh, that dude, he did it at him too. There's no way you can say that didn't happen. That happened. That's those other two freak me out. The first one, she's just stupid.
Dang.
No region in this country is beyond the reach of the devil worshippers. Even here in the heartland of America, stories of ritual abuse crop up. The children you're about to meet were born into it. They say their parents forced them to witness bloody rituals, and even they say to participate in ritual murder. Now in the safe haven of a concerned foster family, the children are haunted by their personal nightmares.
My dad was involved in a lot of it. Okay, he's like one of the main guys. He's a leader or something. He made us have sex with them and with other guys, and he's done it with other people. I don't know. I just don't like him.
Tell us what else besides having with him and the other guys that made you do.
Kids and be there and involved in everything else that happened. And I had to be there. And if I didn't, he threatened me, like, you're going to be, the people aren't going to believe you if you tell anybody. Or I'll find you. You know. So he said there's no way out and you must do it.
We found out she had been on, that it was smeared all over her body and put in her mouth.
My children have talked about all of those things and worse. They've talked about having to other children.
Well, she told me about the time from as we think was about year and a half, 2 years old, when this was the satanic cult that she was involved with. And she was made to put it up to someone's head. It was another child, and pulled it.
One of the greatest difficulties in reporting a story like this one is that so much of it sounds so outrageous, too dreadful, too bizarre to be true. Well, here in Nebraska and elsewhere across this nation, concerned citizens have gotten together to defeat that disbelief. This organization is called Believe the Children. Its guiding principle, that the stories these young victims are telling are too widespread, too consistent not to be true.
The stories are so outrageous, and I am such an honest person, I assumed everybody would believe me. And to this day, I'll get in the middle of a story and I'll think, they're going to think I'm crazy. This sounds crazy. But when you begin to hear this same thing time and again, different stories, but the same horrible underlying things, the same behaviors in the kids, I just want to scream.
I'm a stranger. I come up to you and you tell me this story and I say, I don't believe you. How do you react? What do you do?
I just say, well, that's your right not to believe it. But someday, if you see something or you hear something from somebody else, just remember what you heard from me.
If we were lying, I don't think we would come up with such good lies.
Are you telling us the truth?
If this isn't true, I mean, you can do anything you want with me, but it's true.
So sad.
So I looked into this, and apparently Geraldo was really into this stuff. He uncovered something because he immediately just stopped talking about it. It was like he went in the back room, opened up a safe of Al Capone, and nothing was there. And he was like, there's nothing to see here, everyone. Just please move along. Nothing to see here. Please move along. While they had his daughter in the basement saying, tell him and keep going. And he was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I don't know who you are. Yes, whatever you are. Okay, okay. That's what it looked like to me, allegedly, because I'm a reputable source and I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know him personally. I just called him. I have his number.
Just go to the Google Maps and type that in and see this perfect outline of a dragon. And if you've seen my volcanoes are caused from the insides of dragons, well, look at this smoke just billowing out of where that dragon is.
Now, maybe you have or maybe you haven't seen that when animals die, sometimes they fill with gas. This is a whale ready to explode, and you want to see what that looks like? Viewer be warned if you're squeamish. Now let's hear what type of gases are in there.
A blue whale can weigh up to 150 tons. And when something that massive starts decomposing, things get intense. Bacteria inside the body feed on the whale's organs and tissues. And as they break it down, they release gases like methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. The same gas that smells like rotten eggs. But here's the problem. Whale skin is tough, and their blubber, incredibly thick. So all those gases, they get trapped. The whale basically turns into a giant pressure cooker. And without a release, the pressure builds and builds.
Did you hear the type of gases that come out of there? Let's listen again.
They release gases like methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide.
Gases like methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. Do you see what this is from? Volcanoes emit many gases. How interesting that an exploding animal releases the same gases as a volcano, and a volcano just happens to look like a dragon's face. Oh, and remember how I said Bora Bora was a dragon? Well, would you look at that? Bora Bora was once an active, massive volcano. Oh, and remember here, this big dragon in the United States, and they always tell us the truth in plain sight, and it's called Black Dragon Reservoir, right where its mouth is? Well, do you want to see what this peak is called? Well, it's right there, and it's called Mount Otemanu, and the meaning of that is the peak that sucks up living things from the heart of the sky. What would suck up things from the sky? Maybe a dragon? Oh, but there's more. It's a peak that sucks up living things, consuming spirits and bodies. Also described as a bird. You know, something that flies. Now I ask you again, do you have eyes that can see? Or do you still think dinosaurs existed?
Wouldn't it be cool if we discovered that's where some volcanoes come from? Like some weird reaction that an animal died a long time ago? I mean, let's say it just died a few hundred years ago and we just don't know geology that well. And then it's having some weird chemical reaction in the ground and out spouts this stuff. I mean, that'd be pretty awesome. Just to say that it's not true or it's impossible, it could be possible. The bombardier beetle concocts its little stuff and it shoots it out its butt. And the something lizard like spits blood from its eye. Like, it's possible that these animals could exist. I don't know. People talk about them all over the place, right?
666 United Nations Plaza. That's exactly what you need to type into Google Earth to go see where the devil goes to work every day. And if you go down and zoom in and click on that little man, and then click on that little spot right there, I'm going to take you to where he goes to work at 666 United Nations Plaza. And if you spin around once you get on the ground and you swipe across the screen, you'll see his yard art right here. This is so biblical, it's not even funny. That's the Archangel Michael, and this is right there in Revelation chapter 12. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Did you catch that? It said the dragon fought and his angels. And about the fallen angels right here that he brought with him. And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. This statue is not only right across from it in the same yard, but it's right across from it in the Bible too. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, Old Testament. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. This is the view from right outside the building in the middle of this place. Like all day. And if you decide not to look out the 2 windows right there at the yard art and all the impressive things outside, you can look at that big painting right there. It's demonic. You have people chained and coming out of hell, going up to these people right here. It's weird. In the middle, there's a phoenix right there, and then you can see the dragon with a sword in his mouth. On the other end, it's got these people being pulled out from the underworld and looks like some atomic blast right here at the door. The biggest part of the building is right across the hall, and it's underneath that big logo, and that, I believe, is the Pope right there at 666 United Nations Plaza. Did you know that the Tower of Babel was on the 33rd parallel? That's represented by those little rings right there. And also the UN, they have a base on top of Mount Hermon where the fallen angels descended. That's on the 33rd parallel too. Right there. Right there.
For those of you who have seen your pretty faces going to hell, imagine you show up to work every day like, yes, Satan. And then I'm going to need you to go clean the toilets, Gary. Yes, Satan. And then I'm going to need you to go do the TPS reports. Yes, Satan. And then I want you to get my coffee and make sure you spit in it. Yes, Satan. Yeah, I think people really do that. I'm crazy, right? But there's somebody out there who's like, yes, Satan, and he's this lapdog little bitch, and he just runs and does his stuff. Yes, Satan, and he runs away, all scurrying away as he plugs him in the butt. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. That's the thing.
Right.
So do you think they're the Nephilim, or they're the angels? Shape-shifting slightly, making themselves kind of look the same, but not really, always switching it up and still going. I mean, if they have, 7, 10, 20 heads in heaven, then what do they have down here? I don't know. Either way, tell me what you think. Put some comments below. If you want to help the channel out, thumb blast, you know how to do it. Say something, say nothing, whatever. I appreciate you either way. I hope you have a safe, happy day. And if not, then work harder at it tomorrow. I believe in you. Somebody out there cares about you if nobody else does. Let me tell you that. I got you, bro. Don't ask for money, though.